else.
Okay.
Doesn't, yeah, there you go.
There we go. All
We
right,
got the notice.
guys. Welcome to tonight's training. Most of you guys know me, but I'm Tammy Ramsey. I attended the event on Saturday, and so I'm going to share with you about that. And I also first want to invite you
Awesome.
all to come to the American Falls event, June 11th. It is called Mindfulness Super Saturday. It is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. There will be a lean and green provided. It's $25 per person or $40 per couple. And I really don't care if a couple is you and a girlfriend or you and your mom or you and your daughter. Like if just two of you that come, we'll do $40. I have room for 10 people between beds, a blow-up mattress, and my motorhome in case anybody wanted to stay with me. I'm not a freak or a killer or anything wild. Roseanne can vouch for me. So, and I know that's a drive for some people. Like honestly, it was a almost. Huh? What was that, Roseanne?
Oh, nothing. I'll get on mute.
Oh, okay. So it's about a 3-hour drive for me to go to Sandy, Utah. So I get if you guys are going, wow, I don't want to go to American Falls. That's like 3 hours from where I live or whatever. I don't want to drive up there, but let me tell you why it's worth it. So I chose to go to the Salt Lake event. One, because I love when Amber and Jared Smithson talk. I don't even care who else is there. They are like gold to me. And I totally love when Kat and John get up and talk too. I totally appreciate them, but I really like the group of speakers that come. So I always try to go to the events that they have. So I chose to go because I could invite and share. I could get myself motivated in my own health journey as well as in my coaching journey, right? The two are simultaneous. I like to be around people of like minds. And this is kind of what we teach our clients and what our coaches have taught us is to be part of a community, right? To stay in a community and surround yourself by like-minded people. Now, I could have used my bruised, torn, cartilaged ribs as an excuse not to go. I could have chosen that the drive was too long. The cost of fuel was too much. My granddaughter's birthday was this weekend, but I was lucky and my daughter scheduled it for Sunday. There's 100 excuses I could have made, but I decided I was going to that event no matter what it took. I decided to invite everybody that came to my heart, everybody that I could think of, I decided to invite. And out of the probably 50 people I invited, I got one to come with me. And the benefit was not only what we learned at the event, but it was that we had a great girl time. We had an opportunity to talk for 6 hours in the car. The biggest payoff was that she thanked me for bringing her because she'd gotten so much out of it. And she felt way motivated in her journey. And y'all, she was a client that returned because of the $90 deal and got back on. I also felt way motivated in my own personal journey. I took away nuggets, even though I've read the life book. They trained a lot out of the life book. I've read the life book. I've been to many trainings about the life book. I've been to many events, many trainings. There are similarities, but there always are differences. And I believe it's like, okay, I'm a God-fearing woman, so I believe it's like reading the Bible. So hopefully y'all will get this. But you read the Bible and sometimes something hits you and you're like, oh my goodness, I got it. Finally, I understand what that means. And some things you read and you're like, all right, I don't know what I was supposed to get out of that, but I didn't get anything. And a year later, you come back and you read the same thing. And all of a sudden you go, oh, I got it. It finally sunk in. That's kind of like with trainings. Some things you might sound similar or might be exact, but you'll be like, yeah, I got it because I was ready and open to understand it at that time, right? We encourage our clients, like I said, and our coaches encourage us to be participating. So anytime you can be involved in an event, make the extra effort. Invite a bunch of people and come to an event. So the event that we're going to hold on Saturday, June 11th, will be very similar to, we're going to be using the slideshows, similar script to what they did at this last event. So I'm going to give you some tidbits of my takeaways. If y'all want to get a paper and pencil, you might want to write some down. I don't know. But things that we talked about was, what do you want? And they spoke to us from, you know, whether you're a client or a coach, what do you want? Whether it's in your health journey and your coaching. And they did this quote, and I love this quote: "Only thing worse than being blind is having sight with no vision." So that is Helen Keller. Okay, I love that, and I want you to know that that meant something to me, because I, for the longest time, really struggled with having dreams, for dreaming about a future, for dreaming about things I wanted for myself or for my family. I tend to be a big dreamer, but I dream big for community. And some dreams have come true. And so then it's hard for me to go, oh, I need to sit down and figure out a new dream, right? I mean, I'm 56. Things are happening in my life that are fabulous and wonderful, but I have to stop and go, what's the next dream? What's the next thing that I want to do or accomplish, right? Because we need to be ever growing. They asked us to focus on 7 key areas of wellness and to write down beside each thing what we hope to improve. So the 7 keys of wellness are physical, vocational, financial, mental, that's my favorite, family, also a big favorite, social, spiritual. So you just take a minute and write down beside each thing, in what way would you want to improve in each of those areas? And honestly, you know, a couple of those, I just didn't even, I said, yeah, I'd like to improve, but I don't know in what way I would like to improve. But I did know physically how I wanted to improve, financially how I wanted to improve, mentally. Family is just, you know, trying to spend more time with your family. But also not letting family be an excuse for you not being successful. Because I used to do that with my grandkids, y'all. I got 10 grandkids, which they're fabulous and I love them. But I really struggled for a long time telling myself I was out of balance. I kept telling myself the story. My life wasn't balanced. I spoke it out loud. I complained I wasn't in balance. And it took me going to an event to have Jared Smithson say, you're out of balance because you are saying you're out of balance. What's really out of balance? Do you see your grandkids? Yes. Do you spend time with your grandkids? Yes. Do you work the amount of hours you want to work? Yes. Then nothing's out of balance. It's all in your mind, right? Then they talked about mindset. How do you create what you want? And y'all, what I love about the Life Book and the Habits of Health is that it's not only a health journey, like the 5-in-1, you know, when we talk to clients, when we do that journey kickoff call, we explain to them what the 5-in-1 is, right? And it also talks about the 5-in-1 for our minds, right? We've got to work 5 minutes in the Life Book every day and do one weekly webinar, which is the Wednesday night Zoom. That's the 5-in-1 for our minds. So we have to think about how do you create what you want? And it's the same thing that it teaches us in our health in the life book. It's all about cue. There has to be a cue to what you're doing, right? There has to be a routine instilled, and then there has to be reward. So you need a cue, like if it's in your health journey, maybe when you get home at night, getting home and walking in the door, it's instantly time to relax. So you just want to sit on the couch and you want to relax. Your routine is you sit on the couch. You might turn on the TV. Your reward is you get to maybe just breathe a little and kind of let your mind go and not think for a hot second and watch TV. Now, one thing they did talk about, which I really appreciated, because I have problems with this with clients as well. They're always complaining about this. And I've actually told clients this myself. But if you ever have clients that come to you and say, oh my gosh, so I walk in the door and all I want to do is relax, you know, and I get in front of the TV, and then all of a sudden I'm sitting in my spot on the couch and I want to get up and I want to munch. All of a sudden I'm hungry and I just want to eat. So they talked about, you know, make your cue can be the same. You want to relax, you want to watch TV. You can sit on the couch, but try switching seats. If you're constantly finding yourself in munch mode and uncontrollable eating, then just sit in a different spot in your living room. And then your reward can be whatever makes you feel good and happy. Is it just breathing and relaxing? Is it drinking a big glass of water and just feeling that moment of calm? Like, just focus on that as your reward. So they talked about creating micro habits. Same thing with our coaching. And the cue, routine and reward is the same thing with your coaching. Like, when I get my morning routine, like having a morning routine is crucial. If you get up in the morning, like I have my coffee, I do my exercises. Today was the first time in like 2.5 weeks or almost 3 weeks I did exercise because of my ribs, but I did it. You do your exercising, and then I eat my breakfast, and then I get ready for my day. And by 9 o'clock, I'm in my office. So my cue is I'm dressed and ready to go. I go and I get into work, and I start getting into work mode. And my reward to myself is when I get my 90 minutes of work done, if that's my focus for the day, because sometimes I switch it up. But if I do my 90 minutes and I'm good and I'm happy with that, then my reward is I take a little break, I watch a little TV, or I go for a little walk, and I have my fueling, right? Because usually it's about time for me to have my fueling by that time. So those micro habits we can instill not only in our health journey, but in our coaching. They talked about building your future health and well-being, connecting your future self with your present self, which is so important. And again, that can be used in your coaching. So, and what that looks like is, so from a health stance is, you know, you see yourself as, 140 pounds, for instance. Say you see yourself there, you see yourself fit, you see yourself in your favorite outfit, doing your favorite activity, or whether it's playing with grandkids or whatever it is. You see your future self, and then you kind of connect your present self to your future self by creating steps to get there. That's structural tension. That's in our life book too, right? But I also use structural tension for my business, and our maps are our structural tensions, right? If you're not familiar with a map, then ask your coach about it, which Roseanne, that would be me. The other thing I want to tell all you guys is, for next month, when you send John and Kat or whoever your coach is, your map, also put lines on the paper. These are my lines on the paper for the month of May. I was able to sign on 7 new clients this month and help 7 people. I helped a couple of coaches help some more people. So that was very rewarding. But those are some ways that you can put things out there. You have to put it out visually, see it every day, see things, so that you can connect your present with your future self. They talked about tying the instant reward to the long-term reward also. So a lot of the times we're like in an instant gratification world, right? Like everybody wants it. They want it now. They want it yesterday. I want to lose 50 pounds and I want it gone in a week, even though it took me 5 years to put it on. I want to be ED in, 2 weeks time, like whatever it is. You need to tie your instant reward. So if we go back to, let's go to physical activity. Let's say that you want to add motion into your life. I'm starting back my motion. I do 10 minutes a day. Next week, I'll do 20 minutes. The following week, I do 30 minutes. But my short-term reward is that I get out in the sunshine and I get to feel good, because 20 minutes of exercise makes you happy and feel energetic for 12 hours. I didn't know that till this event. So see, you learn things all the time. But so, and the long-term event is that I'm going to get leaner and I'm going to get healthier and I'm going to feel better, right? We did some exercises about presence, connecting your body to your mind, and that was really good. So y'all, meditation is so crucial. And you can look up meditation on YouTube. There's lots of free meditation things. Even Amber Smithson, you can sign up to her YouTube page and she has some meditation that she walks us through, and it's really good. Part of that, there was a quote from, it's Lao Taizo, I think. It says, if you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you're living in the future. If you're feeling peace, you're in the present. And I thought that was brilliant. We talked about habits of creating space, doing the stop, challenge, and choose. And y'all, stop, challenge, and choose is not just for food. It's for relationships. It's for your spouse. Like, y'all, I finally quit living below the line with my husband and I quit. I don't have to be right anymore. I stop, drink a water sometimes, and think about how important is it for me to be right now? Because if me trying to argue my point to be right is going to cause a big fight, is it really worth it? And what does it really matter in the long run, right? Like if it's life or death, yeah, but not if it's not. Questions that you ask yourself during your stop, challenge, and choose can be things like, what's happening? What did I want to have happen? And you can ask this with kids. You can ask this with your spouse, with your grandkids, if they're getting upset. You can ask them, what's happening? What are you feeling? And what did you want to have happen? What's missing? What's next? They went over processing emotions, which we've talked a lot about that, right? They talked about sleep and the importance of sleep. And I did not know this, but, and this actually came from having lunch with Amber and Jared after the event. So, when our sleep patterns are disrupted, we can sometimes be off balance. And the best way to get back into balance is to, when you wake up in the morning, is to go outside and let the sun shine on your face. That resets your sleep. And you'll stay awake.
For dessert today, okay? Oh, we brought home some donuts.
You sleep.
Are you excited?
But you'll sleep for 12 hours after the sun hits your face, is what he was saying. And I thought that was pretty cool. Meditation, we talked about journaling. And just ask yourself, what do you currently journal? Does anybody here currently journal? You can raise a hand. You can say yes in the chat. Yes, I love it. Okay, so I am not a great journaler. I'm a hit or miss journaler, but my goal when I left this event was like every morning while I'm having my coffee, I am going to journal. Okay. So that's my goal. And they actually say it's really best to journal at night so that you can kind of do a brain dump. So if you have trouble sleeping as well, you can journal at night, empty out your brain of all the thoughts and all the things so that you can get a better night's sleep. I was asking questions that you should ask yourself, right? Is how do I feel when I'm present in the moment? Right? And if you're not sure, then maybe you haven't been present for a long time. And being present in the moment is, not staring at a phone, not staring at a TV, like just being wherever you are and just being and hearing your breath and feeling your body move with that breath. And just being involved. Like I see so many people, we go to dinner that are in their phones, and my husband and I get started on that. And then I'm like, hey, yo, we got to put our phones down because you got to be present in the moment. So what else? Mindfulness, mindset. A grain of sand is about the size of, in the brain, there is 1,000 synapses in one grain of sand, the size of your brain. I thought that was pretty amazing. And so it talked about how we function from our 7 to 10-year-old brain, right? So I call that the amygdala, which is in the bottom of your brain. I call it my 2-year-old brain because when it wants what it wants, it wants what it wants. And it throws a fit if it doesn't get it. So we do have the ability to rewire our brains. It just takes a lot, right? It takes 66 days to create a habit, right? So we have to really work hard and take steps that we've written out and really thought about as to how we're going to reach our goal, whatever new habit that you want to create, whether it's work related or health related. You need to definitely write it down and make those steps. We definitely did above the below the line type of stuff. And we did a lot on the drama triangle, and I know y'all just look in your book, and I think it's element 4, 3 or 4. I love everything to do with the drama triangle because, man, you can get sucked in hard and fast, and you can be in every triangle. You can be a villain, you can be a victim, you can be a hero, all in one conversation. And here's what blew my mind at an event in Las Vegas was that if I am being a hero, I am creating a victim in someone else or a villain. So think about that, because that goes not only with coaching, but everything to do with life, right? How do we get out of that drama triangle? We have to become more open and curious. We have to start living above the line. We can't be about being right, shaming, blaming, all of that, being defensive. We have to start being open and curious. And even with our own selves, like ask yourself, why does this bother me so much? That might be your first question. Again, ask yourself those questions. Well, what was I expecting? What was I hoping would happen? What's missing from that? Again, they did the who is responsible for your current health and well-being. And I put it right back on you as who is responsible for where you are in your coaching journey. We are, right? I know when I have a really slow month, I know exactly whose fault that was. That was me, right? I didn't do my 90 minutes a day, or maybe I even didn't do my 30 minutes a day, or maybe I did a couple of weeks of 30 minutes a day and that was it. And I really didn't work even that hard. So just acknowledge where you are and that we are responsible. And I know I'm almost done. Talks about how you shift from the drama triangle to the empowerment triangle is stop, challenge yourself, your way of thinking, ask yourself questions about the situation, and then choose, do you want to shift? Are you happy wallowing in in the blame, shame, got to be right. Sometimes that works for you. Or do you want to shift and be more open and curious and feel that peace that comes with that? So 4 questions you can make shift happen. I love that. I thought that should be a bumper sticker. Is 4 questions you can ask yourself. Where am I? Right? Location, location, location. You have to know where you are. Number 2, can I accept myself for being where I am? So the first one is, where am I? The second one is, basically, do I want to be here? Can I accept myself where I am? Is that going to make me feel good? Number 3, am I willing to shift? And y'all, I talk to myself all the time. Now, sure, if my husband walks in the door, he thinks I'm bat crazy, but hey, I think I'm pretty smart, so I don't mind listening to me. But anyway, I digress. But you have to ask yourself, and I ask myself out loud, am I willing to shift? And then number 4 is, how will I shift? How can I take a different perspective of this situation that I'm in? Right? Okay, so drama is bitter. This was a quote, and I don't know who it was by. Drama is bitter, challenge is better. Ask yourself questions like, am I responding with my 7 to 10-year-old brain? Or in my case, the 2-year-old amygdala. Am I coming from a place of scarcity? That's another one. Sometimes we don't even realize that we're coming from a place of scarcity. I'm slightly a mini hoarder, not super bad, but I have some piles that I could get rid of. And I think that comes from being raised in a scarcity household. So I constantly have to cleanse my house and let go of things and realize that I'm no longer in a scarcity place in my life. We talked about igniting momentum. They suggested a book called The One Thing, so that you choose to focus on one area that you want to improve on in your life, and you totally focus on that until you get a grip, right? It's kind of like the 5 in 1. When we start our clients, we're like, you know what, don't exercise. Don't worry about anything except getting 5 fuelings in, 1 lean and green, and your water, right? Because that's enough for the first 2 to 3 weeks. So that's the kind of the thing too. So the book is The One Thing. So focus on one area that you want to better in your life, and create a structural tension chart. Put at the top what you want, put at the bottom what your current reality is, and then put the lines on the paper that say, these are the things I'm going to do to help to make these things happen. The other thing that really was an awakener for me was, when I do my map, y'all, I'm doing my map like, sometimes it's the last day of the month. Sometimes, honestly, it's the first day of the month, 2nd day, 3rd day. I didn't think about this. I really am not good about making goals 1 year out, 3 years out, 5 years out, 10 years out. So what if you were to sit down and say, my physical goal in a year, I want to be here. 3 years, I want to be here. 5 years, 10 years. How about financially? Where do you want to be in a year? 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I'm going to live to 100. So I really got to plan that out because I like to have purpose. I want to be able to coach till I'm dead in the grave because I love it. If you don't change anything right now, will anything change? If you don't change anything now, will anything change? We need to recognize that sometimes what's holding us back is our self-negative talk, right? I call it my evil twin. Again, make that shift. If you find your negative talker in your ear, Stop, challenge, choose. Decide if you want to shift your thinking and switch up what story you're telling yourself, right? Flip the script. Let's see, what do you risk if you don't do something? So a lot of people are like worried about getting on the program. Well, I don't know if I can do this program. Well, what's harder? Is it harder getting heavier and heavier, cholesterol getting higher, getting on blood pressure medicine, getting on diabetes medicine? Isn't that harder than maybe eating healthier, moving more? Like sometimes you just have to shift your thinking, help shift your clients' thinking by holding that mirror up to them and asking them questions. What do you want in your life? Again, I made notes again if they mentioned structural tension because it's so important. So how do you keep motivation going? You stay engaged daily. You learn new skills. You surround yourself with like-minded people. Again, I'm going to plug June 11th, y'all. Come to American Falls. Come up and spend the 4 hours with us. Spend the night with me. It'll be fun. And there's hotels around here too, y'all. So you can actually have a hotel stay. We even have one that has an indoor pool, which would be super fun. So a lot of what we did was in the life book, everything they taught in like chapters or element 3, 4, and a little bit of 5. So just look through those and ask yourself, what's next for me? How do I keep my momentum going? Whether it's in your health journey, your coaching, what do you need to do to get motivated or to keep your motivation going? What steps do you need to take? What can you commit to do every day? Every day. So some people exercise 3 times a week. I am an every day. If I do not do it every day, I don't do it. Because if I do 3 days a week, eventually I'll forget and I'll do 2 days and then I'll just forget altogether. So it's better for me to do every day. I loved this idea and I'm doing this myself, and then I'm going to close. They suggested signing a contract with yourself. So whatever thing that you want to create, whether it's in your coaching, your health, with your family, socially, financially, whatever you want to improve in your life, make a contract with yourself. Okay. Hang it up where you can see it every day so that you see that contract. They give an example of a basketball player, and of course, I don't know who, but this basketball player signed this contract that says, he's going to eat healthy, he's going to exercise and do all these things. And so then when it came summertime, he was like, and he wasn't playing basketball, but his contract was still in effect. He was like, oh, I could slack up and I don't have to exercise and I don't have to do this. And he looked up and saw his contract and realized, no, I do have to do these things because I signed a contract. So if you have to sign a contract. Also, one of the things that I suck at is rest and recuperation. Henceforth, the reason I believe I keep getting injured and having to be laid up because I don't do that well. So that's going to be in my contract to myself. I'm going to make a contract that's going to include what I want to accomplish in coaching and the steps that I'm going to take daily to do that. And then I'm going to do it with my health journey. And then I'm going to include the rest and recuperation, and I'm going to sign it, date it, and hang it on my bulletin board, which is across from me that way, so that I see my lines on a paper. Do your lines on a paper, man. Put it up where you can see it. It makes it happen. I put my map up there. I've got my Mindful May bingo up there. I've got a little deal that says taking radical responsibility. Like, those are the things I want to see every day. And this contract is going to be the thing that I'm going to put up there as well. So does anybody have any questions before we finish? Questions, thoughts? Anybody want to share anything?
Great job, Tammy.
Well, thank you.
I really like the questions. I really enjoyed the questions that you shared. The 4th, that was,
Good. that was one of the things that was mind blowing for me, was the question. So I like that. And y'all, I can attest that if you approach someone with questions, they respond a lot better. They actually are more open and talking to you. I mean, you're questioning yourself, and it opens your mind and makes you go, yeah, these are things I need to ask myself. But I was just thinking that anytime that we speak to ourselves, speak to our clients in questions, those are super beneficial to us. So thank you all. And I was very happy to be here. And for sure, keep those questions on your mind. Where am I? Can I accept where I am? What am I willing to shift, and how am I going to shift? Those are huge things. And help your clients to see those things and to learn those questions, because that will really help them as well. So, all right. Have a good night, y'all. Thanks.